Ronaldinho didn't just play football. He danced with the ball, embarrassed defenders, and made the impossible look effortless. What if I told you he could break ankles with a single touch? Or that he once nutmegged world-class defenders just for fun? Ever seen a pass so deceptive that even the camera got tricked? From ankle-snapping Elastico to no-look wizardry, these are Ronaldinho's most mind-blowing skills, pure football magic. 8. Elastico. All right, let's start with the move that broke ankles for fun, the Elastico. Imagine this. You're a defender, confidently closing in on Ronaldinho, thinking you've got him contained. Then boom! He shifts the ball one way, then the other in a split second with the outside and inside of his foot. Your brain says, go left, but the ball is already right. You're left stumbling, and Ronaldinho is laughing as he sprints past you. This move is all about deception and speed. He could pull it off in tight spaces, during a sprint, or even when surrounded by defenders. The likes of Paolo Maldini and John Terry, some of the greatest defenders ever, were made to look like amateurs thanks to this one trick, the Elastico. But what if I told you that he didn't just trick defenders with his dribbling, he even fooled them with his passing? 7. No-look pass. Ronaldinho didn't just pass the ball, he toyed with his opponents while doing it. His famous no-look pass made defenders feel like they were in an optical illusion. While running, dribbling, or even inside the box, he'd be looking in one direction and then suddenly, with a flick of his boot, send the ball the opposite way, perfectly weighted, right into his teammates' feet. Defenders and goalkeepers absolutely hated this because they were always second-guessing themselves. If you watched him play, you'd often see an opponent getting ready to intercept what they thought was a pass, only to realize too late that Ronaldinho had already sent the ball elsewhere. It wasn't just about showing off, it was a mind game. And let's be real, when a pass makes an entire defense freeze in confusion, that's pure football wizardry. If that wasn't humiliating enough, wait until you hear how he literally flicked the ball over defenders' heads like they didn't exist. 6. The Sombrero flick. Imagine being on a football pitch, thinking you're about to steal the ball from Ronaldinho, only for him to flick it over your head like you don't exist. That's the Sombrero flick, one of the smoothest and most humiliating moves in football. Ronaldinho made this skill look so effortless. He would wait for the defender to get close. Then, with a quick flick of his boot, the ball would sail over their head, leaving them spinning in confusion while he collected it on the other side. Whether it was in a tight space, mid-dribble, or even against some of the best defenders in the world, he made it seem like child's play. He once pulled this move on Sergio Ramos during an El Clásico, and the crowd lost their minds. That's the thing about Ronaldinho, he didn't just beat defenders, he embarrassed them in style. But Ronaldinho wasn't just about flicks and tricks, his finishing was just as unique. And sometimes, he didn't even need a full shot to score. 5. The toe poke finish. Now, most footballers prefer power shots or finesse finishes, but Ronaldinho, he had his own way of scoring the toe poke. It was so unexpected that even goalkeepers couldn't react in time. Instead of winding up for a regular shot, he'd just stab the ball with the tip of his boot at the last second. It was quick, deadly, and incredibly effective in tight situations. One of his most famous toe poke goals came against Chelsea in the Champions League, where he froze multiple defenders with a fake, then casually toe poked the ball into the bottom corner past Peter Cech. It was so unpredictable that no one even moved. It was like Ronaldinho was saying, "Why go for power when I can just fool everyone with a tiny touch?" It's these little things that made him so unstoppable. Speaking of fakes, let's talk about how he left defenders sliding across the pitch with one simple trick. 4. Roulette Zinedine Zidane made the roulette famous, but Ronaldinho made it flashy. This move was all about elegance, spinning away from pressure, while keeping total control of the ball. Picture this. Ronaldinho is surrounded by 2 or 3 defenders. Nowhere to go. Instead of panicking, he calmly spins with the ball glued to his feet, dodging tackles and leaving his opponents chasing shadows. The best part? He'd usually finish it off with an Elastico or a no-look pass, just to remind everyone that he wasn't playing the same game as the rest. One of his most legendary spins was against AC Milan, where he took out 2 defenders in one motion and delivered an assist seconds later. This wasn't just skill, it was art in motion. And if that wasn't enough, his fake shots made defenders commit to challenges that never even happened. 3. Fake shot, dribble. Ronaldinho's fake shot was so good that defenders would slide past him before he even took a touch. The trick was simple but deadly. Just before striking the ball, he'd give a quick fake shot motion, making defenders and goalkeepers commit to a block or a save. Then, with one simple tap, he'd glide past them like they weren't even there. One of his most famous fake shots happened in an El Clásico, where he sent Casillas diving the wrong way before casually rolling the ball into the net. The technique was so smooth that it looked like a glitch in the game. But if you think defenders had it bad so far, wait until you hear about the move that embarrassed them the most. 2. The Panna. Some players pass, some dribbles. Ronaldinho? He nutmegged defenders for fun. The Panna, aka the nutmeg, is one of the most humiliating moves in football, slipping the ball through an opponent's legs before collecting it on the other side. Ronaldinho didn't just do it occasionally, he did it constantly. It wasn't just about skill, it was a mental battle. Players knew he was going to try it, but they still fell for it. The best part? He'd do it with zero effort, always grinning afterward. One of his most disrespectful nutmegs came against Ashley Cole, one of the best defenders of his generation. Cole lunged in, thinking he had Ronaldinho trapped, but before he knew it, the ball was between his legs, and the Brazilian was already gone. But what happens when you take all of these moves and combine them into one unstoppable play style? You get the ultimate trickster, Ronaldinho himself. The freestyle dribble. Ronaldinho wasn't just a normal player, he was a street footballer at heart. His dribbling wasn't just about getting past defenders, it was about having fun while doing it. One moment he'd be rolling the ball under his foot. The next, he'd be doing little flicks, step-overs, and back heels, all while making defenders dance like puppets. Unlike most players who kept things simple, Ronaldinho turned every touch into a piece of entertainment. One of his best freestyle dribbles came against Real Madrid, where he toyed with 3 defenders, using step-overs and body feints before completely destroying the last man with an Elastico. Even the Madrid crowd had no choice but to stand and applaud. And that's a wrap on the insane moments in football history. But which one was the best? Comment below. And if you think these were crazy, wait until you see our previous video about the greatest goals ever scored by Messi. Also, subscribe to our channel, because trust me, you don't want to miss the next one.